we know? How do we know if the other side's better? How would it look like the other side even? How would we even be aware that the other side even looks better? How would we be aware of that? Right? And if you don't have it, I'll answer it as it was a rhetorical question. I'll answer it. The reason why we know or we think that it's better, the reason why we say we think it's better, because it's not better. The reason why we think it's better is simply because we became aware of it. We became aware of it. We were looking at it. We were handling it. We became aware of it. If you get somebody who is in a remote country somewhere who don't have access to internet or anything like that, the only thing they know is what's in their community, you're not thinking about half the stuff that you're thinking about. Real talk. It's just real talk. They're not thinking about half the stuff. Right? They're not involved with half the stuff. Right? So what we got to tell ourselves is simply, it's because we became aware of it. It came up close. It smacked us in the face almost. It's boom, it's right there. We're bombarded with it. When you turn around, it's right there. 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 But no wonder why Jesus said, I wish not to take them out of the world, but to keep them from the evils of it. And we got to keep ourselves from the evil. You got to safeguard yourself. You got to realize whenever something is working upon you, no matter how good it looks, no matter how good it sounds, you got to be aware of it. You have to be aware of what's going on. There's a saying, there used to be a saying in the world, if it sounds too good to be true, then it's probably too good to be true. Right? And so we got to be aware of that sometime. Right? And so we got to be aware of all the propaganda that Satan's trying to throw up. He's doing a good job at selling sin. Doing a real good job. He packages it up marvelously. I'm telling you, Satan packages sin up marvelously. He makes it seem like it's all that. But when it comes down to it, if it's all that, why are people dying over sin? No wonder the Bible was wrote many years ago. And it says the wages of sin is death. And if you look at it, it's true. Look at what unlawful sexual activity brings about. It brings about death through STDs, right? Sexually transmitted disease. It brings about death through bringing children into this world that's not wanted, and then that mother decides to go to an abortion clinic and kills it. It brings about death. It brings about death where now this guy who thought he was just having a good time, he's like now he's paying child support at least till the child's at least 18 years old. It's bringing death. It brings about that. But that's what sin. But Satan doesn't present it to you like that. Amen. He presents it to you as like, man, look at how fine she is. He dresses that sinful package up, man. He can sell sin. He's a Satan's not good at anything, but he's good at sin. And he's good at selling it. He's good at deceiving people about it too.
Preach, Bishop.
Right? But some people, they don't listen to it. It turns on a deaf ear until they're in that sin. And then they're like, man, how did I get here? My life is horrible. I should have listened to the pastor. I should have listened to my mother. I should have listened to my dad. How did I get in this state of being? How did I get here? How did I get here? How did I get here? Because you were looking at the world more, you were spending more time with the world than you were spending with Jesus. You were spending, because how else could you live that out, the prayer that Jesus had prayed? How else could you live it out when he said, I wish not to take them out of the world, but to keep them from the evils of the world? How else could you live that out? In other words, the way to live that out is by engulfing yourself in God. Staying around godly people, doing godly things, praying all the time, reading your Bible, fasting. That's the only way that you're going to be able to do it. You can't you cannot do them things and think that you're going to stay away from the evils of the world. You just can't do it. Right? You can't do it. You just can't do them kind of things. So what I'm urging you, I'm going to go ahead and switch mics here. So what I'm urging you to do is I'm saying that, you have to do them things because you're not strong to deal with Satan. If you're not praying, if you're not reading your Bible, if you're not having good fellowship with Christians, if you're not, fasting, if you're not doing these kinds of things, you're going out to Satan exposed and weak. And you're not going to be able to handle him. You're just not going to be able to do that. So what I urge you is say simply is you have to do them things. You have to make sure that your spiritual life is strong so you don't fall into what Satan's trying to present to you. Because he's making it look marvelous. I mean, I'm telling you, he's making it look great. He's doing a good job at selling sin. And it's like if you're not aware of it, he'll sell you. Amen. And you'll be had.